One Day at a Time, 1975 to 1984, was more than just a sitcom, it was a cultural touchstone that resonated with audiences through its heartfelt storytelling and relatable characters. For 9 seasons, viewers followed Ann Romano and her daughters as they navigated the ups and downs of life, supported by a cast of talented actors who left a lasting impact on television history. But behind the scenes, the real-life journeys of the cast took unexpected turns. Some found continued fame, while others faced personal struggles, health battles, and even tragic losses. Now, 50 years later, we take a look at where the beloved stars are in 2025. Bonnie Franklin, who born on January 6, 1944, played Ann Romano in 1975 at the age of 31, and was a fiercely independent and strong single mother, navigating the challenges of raising 2 daughters while balancing her personal and professional life. On screen, she was the embodiment of resilience, often managing the chaos of motherhood with humor and grace. However, behind the scenes, Franklin's life was far from easy. Her career, which peaked with One Day at a Time, saw limited success after the show ended, leaving her in the shadows of a fleeting fame. She struggled to break free from the typecasting of her role as Ann Romano, which limited her opportunities in Hollywood. Her personal life mirrored the challenges of her on-screen persona, constant struggles with love and commitment. She married twice, first to Michael Lawrence, and later to Richard R. Perry, but both marriages ended in divorce, leaving her to cope with the loneliness and emotional strain. She had no children of her own, and while she had close relationships with friends, the emptiness of an unfulfilled personal life lingered. In her later years, Franklin battled health issues, including breast cancer, which deeply affected her mental and physical well-being. She passed away on March 1, 2013, at the age of 69, after a brave battle with pancreatic cancer. Nanette Fabray, born on October 27, 1920, played Grandma Catherine Romano in 1979 at the age of 59. As the warm and supportive grandmother, Catherine brought much-needed wisdom and stability to her family. Though Fabray had a long and illustrious career in theater, film, and television, her personal life was fraught with hardship. She was married twice, first to writer and director Ranald McDougall, whom she divorced after several years of marriage. Their union was reportedly marred by personal conflict, and their divorce left a permanent scar on her heart. Later, she married and divorced again, this time to actor and director Martin Gable. Despite her successes, Fabray faced numerous professional and personal setbacks, and her career began to wane as she grew older. The role of Grandma Catherine was a brief but significant comeback, but it was not enough to overcome the emotional burden she carried. Fabray was a survivor of a severe hearing impairment, which she had to overcome early in her career, but even this triumph did not bring her the fulfillment she sought. She spent her later years battling both physical and emotional exhaustion, feeling the toll of a career that failed to provide the stability and happiness she desired. She passed away on February 22, 2018, at the age of 97 from natural causes. Pat Harrington Jr., who portrayed Dwayne F. Schneider in 1975 at the age of 46, was born on August 13, 1929. Schneider, the quirky and lovable building superintendent, was the comedic heart of One Day at a Time, offering humor and support to the Romano family. While his character was charming and enduring, Harrington's real life was fraught with personal turmoil and professional struggles. The role of Schneider brought him steady work and recognition, but it was a double-edged sword. Despite his success on the show, Harrington's career stagnated afterward, and he never quite managed to escape the shadow of his beloved character. His life off-screen was marked by a series of difficult relationships. He was married twice, first to fellow actress, dancer, and model Carol Wabin, and later to actress and writer Tina McClendon. Both marriages ended in divorce, and Harrington, despite his outward jovial personality, found it increasingly difficult to connect on a personal level. His romantic and family life seemed to always fall apart, reflecting the unstable nature of his professional career. In his later years, Harrington struggled with the devastating onset of Alzheimer's disease, which robbed him of his memories and abilities. On January 6, 2016, he passed away at the age of 86, after battling the debilitating effects of Alzheimer's for several years. Howard Hesseman, born on November 21, 1924, portrayed Sam Royer in 1982 at the age of 42. Sam, Ann Romano's second husband, was the epitome of calmness and understanding, a gentleman who brought a sense of stability to the otherwise chaotic Romano household. Though Sam seemed to be the perfect companion for Ann, behind the scenes, Hesseman's life was far from idyllic. After one day at a time, his career fluctuated between successes and failures, often taking roles in TV guest spots or lesser-known films. However, his personal life mirrored the chaos of his career. Hesseman's first marriage ended in divorce, with no children resulting from the union. His second marriage, to his longtime partner, though more stable, still faced struggles due to his own inner turmoil and battles with alcoholism. Hesseman found himself frequently battling with inner demons, including a growing dissatisfaction with his acting career, which had peaked with One Day at a Time but never reached the level of stardom he had hoped for. As he entered his later years, Hesseman struggled with his health. Though he appeared to recover from a series of surgeries, his health continued to decline. He passed away on January 29, 2022, at the age of 81, after complications from colon surgery. Charles Siebert, born on March 9, 1938, portrayed Jerry Davenport in 1977 at the age of 39. Jerry, the charming and supportive love interest of Ann Romano, was often the voice of reason in the series, offering comic relief and heartfelt moments. Yet, Siebert's life outside of the screen was riddled with difficulties that mirrored some of the struggles his character faced. While his role on One Day at a Time was a significant part of his career, it never led to the kind of stardom Siebert had hoped for. After the show, his career declined sharply, and he found himself relegated to smaller roles in forgettable TV series and films. His personal life was no less turbulent. Siebert had 2 marriages, both of which ended in divorce, leaving him with emotional scars that lingered for years. The pressure of his career and the strain of 2 broken marriages led to long periods of depression, with Siebert often feeling disconnected from the world around him. The tragedies didn't stop there. Siebert lost several close friends and family members in a short period, and the toll of their deaths further isolated him. As he aged, Siebert's health began to fail. He contracted COVID-19 in 2022 and developed pneumonia, leading to his passing on May 1, 2022, at the age of 84. Joseph Campanella, born on November 21, 1924, played Ed Cooper in 1976 at the age of 52. Ed was a complex character, and Romano's ex-husband, whose presence often stirred tension in the Romano family, yet occasionally showed moments of vulnerability and growth. Off-screen, Campanella's life was far from the charm of his character. While his career spanned decades, with numerous roles in television and film, his personal life was filled with long stretches of loneliness and disappointment. Married once for many years, Campanella's marriage ended in a bitter divorce, one that left him heartbroken. Though he had children, he was often estranged from them due to the emotional distance caused by his failed marriage and work commitments. Despite his fame, Campanella battled deep personal grief throughout his life. He never truly found the peace that seemed to elude his character, Ed, and was plagued by an inability to form lasting, meaningful relationships after his divorce. As the years passed, his health began to deteriorate, and Campanella became increasingly reclusive. He suffered from Parkinson's disease in his later years, an ailment that robbed him of his physical abilities and further deepened his sense of isolation. Joseph Campanella died on May 16, 2018, at the age of 93, from complications of Parkinson's disease. Valerie Bertinelli, born on April 23, 1960, portrayed Barbara Cooper in 1975 at the age of 15, became an iconic figure for her role as the sweet, responsible daughter in the series. Off-screen, however, her personal life was filled with heartache and turmoil. Her marriage to rock star Eddie Van Halen, which began in 1981, was often plagued by substance abuse, infidelities, and emotional strain. The couple's high-profile union eventually ended in 2007 after years of struggling with personal and family challenges. Bertinelli's struggles with body image and eating disorders became public as she battled the pressures of maintaining Hollywood's expectations while grappling with her own sense of self-worth. In 2020, when Eddie Van Halen passed away, it brought a wave of sadness, nostalgia, and reflection on their tumultuous but deeply impactful relationship. As of 2025, at 64, she has found a degree of peace, embracing a healthier perspective on life and focusing on personal growth and self-acceptance. While she remains a beloved figure in Hollywood, her past has shaped her into the resilient and open woman she is today, yet the emotional scars from those years still linger beneath the surface. Michael Lembeck, born on June 25, 1948, played Max Horvath in One Day at a Time starting in 1979 at the age of 31, portrayed Julie's loving and supportive husband, yet his personal life was far less stable than his characters. Lembeck's first marriage ended tragically due to infidelity and emotional struggles, leading him to navigate the pain of broken trust and disappointment. Although he remarried later, his second marriage also ended in divorce, and his personal life continued to be marked by emotional turbulence. Professionally, Lembeck's career, which had seemed promising early on, began to stagnate as he struggled to find roles that matched his earlier success. This caused him to question his place in the entertainment industry and feel disconnected from the world that once embraced him. His frustration with his career and personal life only deepened as he grew older, and by the time he reached his 50s, Lembeck was often seen as a relic of a past era. As of 2025, at 76, Lembeck has largely stepped away from the public eye, choosing a quieter life far from Hollywood's spotlight. While he has made peace with his past in some ways, the weight of unfulfilled potential and personal loss remains a core aspect of his existence, and his struggles are a sobering reminder of the fragility of success and happiness. Mackenzie Phillips, who played Julie Cooper in 1975 at the age of 16, was born on November 10, 1959. Her character, often rebellious and searching for independence, seemed to parallel Phillips' own tumultuous journey. Behind the scenes, Phillips faced deep emotional and physical abuse at the hands of her father, John Phillips, of the Mamas and the Papas. These horrific experiences led to a lifetime of substance abuse, failed relationships, and self-destructive behavior. She became addicted to drugs at a young age, and her personal life spiraled out of control with multiple stints in rehab, legal issues, and a series of troubled marriages. Her pain only deepened after the death of her mother in 2001, leaving her feeling lost and abandoned. In 2008, she was arrested for drug possession, and her struggles became public once again, leading to further isolation. Despite her attempts to regain control over her life, her past remained a shadow that she could not outrun. Now, at 65 in 2025, Phillips continues to fight for sobriety and emotional healing. While her resilience and efforts toward recovery are commendable, the scars of abuse, addiction, and loss still define much of her story. Boyd Gaines, born on May 11, 1953, portrayed Mark Royer in 1981 at the age of 28. Mark was Barbara Cooper's loving and dependable husband, a steady presence in her life who balanced a demanding career with his devotion to his family. While his character seemed to have the perfect balance between professional success and personal happiness, Gaines' real life would be marked by a series of personal struggles that mirrored the challenges his character faced on screen. Despite his promising start in acting, Gaines' career after One Day at a Time became increasingly difficult, with roles that never quite matched his early success. He married twice, first to actress Nancy Glass in 1984, but the marriage ended in divorce just a few years later. He later married actress and producer Amy Van Nostrand and together they had 2 children, but their marriage also faltered, ending in another painful divorce. Gaines faced public struggles with depression and anxiety, trying to cope with both the pressures of Hollywood and his personal life. By 2025, now 71 years old, Boyd Gaines remains in the industry, but his personal life has been marked by emotional turmoil, with the weight of multiple failed relationships and the constant struggle to reconcile his early success with his ongoing battles with mental health. Richard Masur, born on November 20, 1948, portrayed David Kane in 1975 at the age of 27. David was a calm and steady presence as Ann Romano's lawyer and love interest, providing a sense of stability and support in her tumultuous life. However, Masur's own life was anything but stable. His early career was filled with great promise, but he struggled to maintain consistent work after one day at a time. Masur's personal life faced turmoil as well, with his marriage to actress Sherry Hersey ending in a painful divorce after only a few years. His second marriage to actress Jennifer Tilly in the late 1980s also ended in tragedy, as they lost their child to a stillbirth. This devastating loss left Masur deeply shaken, and he later turned to alcohol to cope with the grief. Despite attempts at rehabilitation, his career began to suffer, and he found himself relegated to supporting roles in B-movies and TV series. Masur faced a long battle with depression, addiction, and the aftermath of the tragedies in his personal life, which continued to haunt him throughout his career. By 2025, at the age of 76, Richard Masur has largely stepped out of the public eye, retreating from the industry that once held such promise for him. Shelley Fabares, who played Francine Webster in 1978 at the age of 34, was born on January 19, 1944. Francine was Ann Romano's sharp-witted and ambitious business partner, always ready with a clever remark and an optimistic outlook. However, Fabares' life off-screen was far from the success and humor that defined her character. Her early career was marked by personal misfortune, including a failed marriage to actor Lou Adler, which left her struggling emotionally and professionally. She later remarried to actor Mike Farrell in 1984, but that relationship too was marred by the challenges of balancing fame and family life. In the late 1980s, Fabares faced significant health struggles, including a life-threatening battle with a rare autoimmune disease, which required multiple surgeries and long-term treatments. Despite her physical hardships, she managed to maintain a public appearance of strength, but behind the scenes, her health continued to deteriorate, leaving her feeling isolated and exhausted. By 2025, at the age of 81, Fabares remains a beloved figure in Hollywood, but her life has been a complex journey of love, loss, and enduring illness. Her career has stalled in recent years, and her health continues to be a constant challenge, overshadowing the joy she once brought to television audiences. Ron Rifkin, born on October 31, 1938, played Nick Handries in 1980 at the age of 42 and brought a level of sophistication and complexity to the role of this suave and enigmatic character. Nick was a well-rounded man of mystery, whose charm and emotional depth added intriguing layers to the show. However, despite his success in the role, Ron's career was not without its struggles. While his acting on the show earned him respect, his later career was marked by moments of stagnation, with parts in smaller productions and TV series that did not provide the recognition he had hoped for. His personal life mirrored his professional difficulties, as he had multiple marriages that ended in painful divorces. His relationships with his children were strained, and he faced an ongoing battle with loneliness, unable to find lasting happiness in his romantic life. The pressures of his failed marriages, coupled with professional instability, weighed heavily on Ron. His personal struggles were exacerbated by health issues and emotional turmoil. By 2025, at 86, Ron lives in relative seclusion, having distanced himself from the entertainment industry. Despite his early successes, his life has been overshadowed by years of hardship, a once promising career dimming in the face of relentless personal challenges. John Putch, born on July 27, 1961, portrayed Bob Morton in 1976 at the age of 15. He was a bright young actor who played the lovable, humorous friend of the Cooper family. Bob's character brought warmth and comic relief to the series, quickly becoming a fan favorite. However, as John grew older, the promise of a thriving career seemed to slip away. His transition from child star to adult actor was riddled with setbacks. Despite early recognition, John found it difficult to find roles that would establish him as a serious actor. His career languished, and he struggled with feelings of inadequacy and frustration. His personal life was far from stable, as John faced the painful dissolution of his marriage to his college sweetheart, which left him heartbroken and disillusioned. He had 2 children, but his strained relationship with his ex-wife made co-parenting incredibly difficult. As John dealt with the emotional fallout from his failed marriage, he battled bouts of depression and anxiety, struggling to regain the sense of purpose that he had once found in his acting career. By 2025, at 63, John remains in the entertainment industry, lives quietly. He continues to wrestle with the ghosts of his past, trying to reconcile his early fame with the reality of his current life, filled with isolation and a sense of unfulfilled dreams. Scott Colomby, born on September 19, 1952, began his role as Cliff Randall in 1977 at the age of 25, played a charming and good-looking love interest for Barbara Cooper. His character added romantic tension and youthful appeal to the show. However, Scott's post-one-day-at-a-time career was marred by disappointment. Although he appeared in various TV shows and films, he could never escape being typecast, and opportunities to showcase his range as an actor were scarce. His career struggles were compounded by significant personal challenges. Scott's relationships with women were fraught with difficulties, and he went through multiple failed marriages, each one leaving emotional scars that took years to heal. His relationship with his children, from his marriages, was strained, with long periods of estrangement. The pressures of his personal life, coupled with his inability to break through as an actor, led to bouts of depression and substance abuse. These struggles led to a dramatic decline in his mental health and well-being. By 2025, at 72, Scott continues to lead a quiet life, far removed from the entertainment industry. While he has found a degree of peace, his life remains shadowed by the weight of unrealized potential and the ghosts of a career that never reached its full height. Who is your favorite character from One Day at a Time? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.